2 people have now been confirmed dead as a result of the gale-force winds that have rocked the Eastern Cape. The deaths occurred in the Buffalo City metro. The most severe impact is related to houses destroyed or roofs blown away, power outages and also roads blocked by uprooted trees. Authorities are expected to visit the affected areas this morning. But for the latest on the reports of the aftermath of the severe weather conditions, we cross live now to SABC News reporter Abongile Jantjies and video journalist Agcobile Vena in East London. Abongile, a good morning to you. Yesterday when we spoke, it really was just a woman that had passed as a result of a wall that had blown, falling on top of her while she was asleep. Who is the second person that has now lost their lives?
Well, Naledi, this second person who has lost her life is a man who lived in an informal sector in Amalinda here in East London, where a tree fell on that shack while he was sleeping with his brother, but the brother luckily survived. The deceased was rushed to hospital, but unfortunately didn't make it on time. We are coming to you now from Tanzania, where authorities are conducting assessments and mop-up operations are happening here in Tanzania. It's one of the most affected areas by these heavy winds. Naledi, as we can show you, these are the families that have been displaced due to these devastating winds. About 30 families have been affected, and most of them coming from informal settlements. So it's the poor of the poorest who have been affected, people who are waiting for houses. I understand from Cocta MEC Zolile Williams, he said earlier on while he was here speaking to these affected families that about 200 temporary shelters will be afforded to these families, and going forward more plans will be put in place. They're even roping national government to come and intervene. They are still conducting their assessments, and that will inform them whether to declare this a disaster or not. But let's bring in one of the affected community members. Tada, siyabulela kakhulu ngexesha lakho. Nilele apha izolo. Ukwenzeke ntoni kuwe njengoba sozibona sowulapha?
Tata, into enzekileyo ithensalele ebusuku kwabakho umoya omkhulu, so avele laphela igali lamu, so andiyazi uba ndizawuthini because ndilala ezitshomini and andina family ilapha kufutshane, ifamily yam iseKapa, so andiyazi uba ndizawuthini, andiphangeli, so kunzima nje kum. Nangoku bendisecinga sacinga uba ndizawukwenza njani ukuze ndilungiselele. Qha ke bazama le nto ukhansela na kutata wam khona, ndicele kuye uba makandincede because andinanto, andiphangeli.
Uphelele kwezi mpahla uzinxibileyo ngoku? Uphelele
kwezi mpahla ndizinxibileyo tata.
Ufuna uncedo lunjani tata? Ndiyaqonda umba wezindlu nokufihla entloko nguwona mba ubalulekileyo njengoba sithetha, kodwa ke ngekwezidingo zakho wena unqwenela ntoni?
Tata, mna ndinqwenela uba kunokwenzeka uba kufumaneke noba loo nto ndikwazi ukufihla intloko, ndikwazi uba kunokwenzeka, ewe ndiyawufuna nomsebenzi, ndiyazama because xa ndiphangela ezigadini mhlawumbi ndibizwe nakuloo ndlu ke uba mhlawumbi mandipeyinte ke loo nto. Andiyazi uba ndizayiqala ngaphi tata, ndiyazi, kodwa ndiyacela uncedo, ndicela uncedo kuni ndicela uncedo nokukhansela.
Kakhulu ngexesha lakho. Well, that is an affected resident here of NU10 in Tanzania, Naledi, saying that he can accept anything that might be of assistance. The clothes on his back are the ones he managed to flee away from these winds while he was escaping for his life during those times when he lost the shack he was living in. And I'm really quite sad, and he doesn't even have a job. He's dependent on authorities to ensure that he does receive the necessary assistance. Let's bring in the local Ward Councillor Upumezo Jaxa. Sir, thanks a lot for your time. We are in your turf and these people are heavily dependent on you. What's the way forward?
Good day to the viewers and listeners at home. This is Ward 48, which is comprised of 4 units, NU11, NU10, NU8, and NU12. It has 8 informal settlements, 4 of which were drastically affected by the gale-force winds. The way forward now, the first thing that we did, we evacuated them from the dilapidated informal settlements that they were in. We housed them at this community hall overnight. Aid came in a form of blankets yesterday, because you know that the first 24 hours is a bit of here and there, you touch here and there, nothing is formalized yet. But early this morning I informed the Honorable MEC for COCTA, the Executive Mayor and the MMCs and also Social Development. All of that contingent came here this morning, did make commitments and promises that as part of the relief package, the MEC has applied to National Government of the National Department of Human Settlements, where 200 temporary residential units will be provided. This ward will be part of those beneficiaries, which will get 30, because there are 30 people that are affected, or 30 families that are affected in the ward. That is number one. Number two, as of now, food is ready, is being dished out now. They will get some branch, because they are just left with the blankets on, nothing else. Okay. And then the also essential documents like IDs and birth certificates. Officials now are busy doing the registration so as to collate data for them. So temporary residential units will be provided for them. That's the assistance that they'll get in the meantime.
Had they had housing, proper housing, and had not lived in those informal sectors, and had they had proper housing, we wouldn't have found ourselves here due to the slow pace of the delivery of housing. Would you say that is a factor that contributed to this?
Indeed, one cannot put that aside, but the municipality and together with the Eastern Cape government are working hand in hand, and their hands are on the deck in trying to provide proper shelters for them. As we speak now, in Zone 16 AD, which my ward is clustered to, part of those beneficiaries, houses are being built there. In Unit P, houses are being built there, and also there are other patches of land in where it has been identified that houses will be built there. So processes are in place to build adequate housing. But as you know, issues of housing is a moving target. You can plan for 10, but tomorrow there will be 12 of them. So yeah, had they had proper housing, then perhaps it would not have been this in this scale. But we're doing what we can with little that we have.
Thanks a lot for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Pumezo Naledi, the ward councillor here in Buffalo City, responsible for these people who are displaced here today. Even the Gift of the Givers, I understand they are on their way to provide social relief. Even the Red Cross is on their way to provide social relief. So we are waiting to see, because these people can't be here forever. Their lives need to get back to normality. Even schools are affected here in Tanzania. A school not too far away from us, the entire roof has been blown away by the wind. So assessments are continuing on the ground, and we are seeing more and more of the effects of these winds.